Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet. This is the narration after prostrating to the Lord Sri Narayana, the best among men, Narottama. Who is the Narayana? Is the best among men. Naram Chaiva, and also Sri Krishna. Devim Saraswatim, the goddess of Saraswati. Then again comes the Vyasa, the composer. Jayam Udirayet, the narration of this Bhagavata. This Jaya. Now we will have this Mahabharata again as a Jaya. The Mahabharata, the name came much afterwards, is a mighty monumental work that enshrines the essence of Dharma. That is the main thing in the Mahabharata. Though is mainly known as a war, the huge war, terrible war that took place, but it is mainly known as the Dharma, and all the four Purusharthas are expounded in this great work of the Veda Vyasa. It is said that this great work was done in 3 stages. This Mahabharata, the first stage is Jaya. This Jaya is comprising of 8,800 stanzas which are related to the main theme of the work, namely the conflict between the Kauravas and Pandavas. After this part, the Vyasa said, Ashto sloka sahasrani, Ashto sloka shatani cha. Ashto means 8, sloka, sahasra means 1,000, Ashto sloka sahasrani, 8,000. Again, Ashto sloka shatani cha, 100. Shata is 100. 800. So, aham Vedim, I know. Shuko Betti, his son, the great sage Shukadev, he also understands, he also knows. Sanjaya, the great famous Sanjaya of the Bhagavad Gita, the Sanjaya Betti ba naba, he may or may not. So first Mahabharata was 8,800 slokas. The name was Jaya. Some people, they say there is a concised Mahabharata. That is the second came the name. Why the name Jaya? Because it is the story of the victory of the Pandavas. So Jaya means victory. The victory of the Pandavas over the Kauravas. So this 8,800 slokas is the first stage. Second, it came as Bharata. Bharata, Vyasa also composed again 24,000 slokas with upakhyanas. Upakhyan means stories. This is referred as Bharata. Now 8,800, then afterwards 24,000 stories he is composing. The first giving the narration, how the war is going on. And second, the stories, why the war, what happened, who are the people. So all these things in the Bharata, Shata Sahasram Samhitayam Veda Vyasano Uktam. Shata Sahasram Samhitaya. Samhita means the stories, or we can say Upakhyana. Then third came Mahabharata. There he gave the whole thing. The first Jaya, then Bharata, and then also he composed other balance, total 1 lakh. So it is sloka, then Kavya, then the stories, and total it came 1 lakh sloka. That complete came Mahabharata. In this Mahabharata we find is having 18 parvas. Parva cannot be translated as the chapter. Parva is a huge portion In one portion, again, there are many chapters there, but it is known as famous as 18 Parvas. And very peculiarly, that war, the Kurukshetra war, that is also for 18 days. The Kurukshetra war was for the 18 days. Then afterwards, the India-Pakistan war, it was also for the 18 days. Of course, no relation. So this is, the Mahabharata is having the 18 Parvas, or we can say chapters, begin with Adi Parva. Adi means the beginning. And here, giving the description of the lunar race. In India, they always say there were two dynasties, two races. One is lunar, another solar. Chandravamshi, Suryavamshi. These Chandravamshis, they always say that we come to this. We are not going to the details of that, but in the beginning of this Mahabharata, I think you remember, some of you who are attending regularly, that we gave the description how it all came, how the Jayati, the first person, then came the Ganga, and then Harsan, all these things came. So that is the description comes in the Adi Parva, and second come Shabha Parva. Shabha means assembly, and that deals with the game of dice mainly. In the assembly, that we can understand that many people are there, and afterwards they were thinking how to keep at bay the Pandavas. Then all the stories, almost all the Indians, they know the Mahabharata stories. So they wanted to defeat them, and defeat them with a wonderful game called dice. There you have to keep everything, one after another. Here also, in all over the modern world, the people are going and playing. So the big houses are there. What is the call? That casino. So perhaps the Yudhishthira would have been very successful in the casino. So casino, they go, but it is all machine. They are not, or sometimes I have seen that they are playing on the table. That's almost maybe the same type, but they used to throw the dice, and the dice used to give the number accordingly. But the main thing is, it is not only for the joy, it is for the gaining. You have to give something, you have to say this much money, this much property. Ultimately, all these things the Yudhishthira gave, including themselves. So we know, so that is the main problem. But another thing we learn from that, Yudhishthira was not the father. Yudhishthira was not the king. Yudhishthira was only elder brother of this great five. He was the one and the four. All of them were so powerful. Bhima, then Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva. How come they all obeyed whatever Yudhishthira did? That is called Dharma. That is called Indian tradition. They knew that we are going to lose everything. They knew that everything, but they never said a single word to the brother. Whatever comes, the fate will take us wherever, we are ready to go. Can you imagine? Even though they are having so much of power, confidence, and one of them, one among the five, they were sufficient, he was sufficient. But still they were so humble, and that is called completely dedicating to that I was talking about, the society's psychology. The social psychology, in the social psychology we find this type of things that you have to. Swami Vivekananda, he went to India after this visiting the West. Then he touched the feet of Raja Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda ji. And he said, Guruvat Guru Prutteshu, Guruvat Guru Putreshu. Raja Maharaj was considered as the mind-born son of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He saw in dream that one child, the baby son, the mother, divine mother, is giving to him So he said, this is my son, and I will bring that brought him up according to my will. So the Raja Maharaj, he was 16 years old when he came, grown-up boy. Again, he was just like a child to Sri Ramakrishna. So they used to consider, though they were friends, almost the same age. But when he went, touched the feet of the Raja Maharaj and said, Guru Bhakt, I consider my Guru, to whom? Guru Putreshu. Even the son of Guru is as great as the Guru. And immediately that great sage again, that Brahmananda ji, touched the feet of Swami Vivekananda, and he said, Jeshto Bhrata Sama Pita. Is Pita Sama. Jeshto Bhrata Sama Pita. A few days back, two gentlemen came. One is 87, another is 80. And the 80 is a very successful person. He is a doctor, having a lot of money, but constantly going as a humble little boy, following his elder brother, the 87, and serving him all the time. One way it is good, because from Yudhishthira made the mistake. Why? He should have considered, I have no right to put their fate in this difficulty. But that Yudhishthira didn't do. So elder brother, when getting all the attention and respect from the junior ones, should be very, very righteous. So that is the main thing. Sometimes we constantly teach our boys that your mother is the goddess, father is the God, highest God. You must respect, you must respect, you must respect. But the mothers are not learning this. The moment the child, the boy, is dedicated to the mother, mother thinks, oh, the whole life I should go on getting everything from him. Never consider that son should also get. Then the one problem is coming, that the family, if the boy married, then the mother is telling, you should not live with the wife. What's this? Because you gave it's not the love marriage, the arranged marriage. You arranged that. Now suddenly the mother and telling, father is also is not very vocal. So obviously this problem is coming. Why? The son is all right. He is dedicated to the mother, respect is, but the mother is not giving back the responsibility. So dharma in both ways. Matri dharma, putra dharma. Matri dharma, mother's responsibility, and putra dharma, for the sons. Son is respectful to the mother, but mother said, oh, okay. Just we find in the Mahabharata, Kunti. Kunti told her sons, I should be here because this is my in-laws' house, and I cannot leave my in-laws' house, I should be here. But you should fight for your own right. Look at it. You go and fight. Go first pray, request. If we are not getting, snatch it, fight it. You must have to, because this is your right on this property. But I belong to this family, I'll be here. Though the mother, regularly praying for the betterment of the children, but still, this is mother. When the Pandavas, they got the everything, and then the Kunti told, now you should enjoy your life, but I must return in the forest. She was not there. She understood that if I am here still, then their wives won't get the opportunity to have the family enjoy as a wife, mother. So she left. So that is called mother's dharma. In the Shabha Parva, we find that Yudhishthira failed in that responsibility. He was so much attached to that game, and he went on giving everything. Then come Banap Parva. That is the main long years. Banap Parva. They went inside the jungle, in the forest, and they were hiding over there for such a long time. So many anecdotes, so many stories, the wonderful stories, one after another. But there also, when they found that the Duryodhana and some of his brothers and their wives, they went for some picnic, but they did something wrong. So the local people, yakshas, they are very powerful. The yakshas, they are in between the human being and the god. They're called yaksha. They are having some miraculous power at the same time like the human being, so that they are known as yakshas. They vanquished them, bound them, and they were taking them away. Then the news came to the Pandavas who were there hiding. They went and fought with those yakshas and make them released. So that they knew that they are my brothers, our brothers, whatever. But we should have to go and protect them. So that dharma they maintained. But in the Banaparva again we find the stories like very cleverly Duryodhana sent one rishi, and he was very short-tempered. And whatever he said, that is to get. So 1,000 disciples with that rishi told, our brothers are there. You are going to that jungle? It's good. Our brothers are there. Please go and have food over there. And naturally, the rishi thought, it's okay. He went and he met the Pandavas and said, I'll come and I'll take the lunch with you today. Lunch in the jungle, there was nothing. Somehow they were surviving. And this rishi, then what will happen? Then they were all constantly praying to Krishna. So Krishna came and saved them. And this is all in the Banaparva. Then comes the Virata Parva. This narrates the life of the Pandava in incognito. So sometimes something happened in the life and we always think, why this to me? And we suffer. But afterwards we find this is good. Because that thing happened, so today I am happy. And this happened in the life of Arjuna. You know that story. He went to get the special training with the Indra. Indra was very great as a warrior. So Arjuna went to Indra to get the training. Then a beautiful lady approached him and the Arjuna refused. In those days, that was the system. Any lady could approach any gentleman. And that lady came and approached, and refusing the lady is a very great insult. So obviously, she felt insulted and cursed Arjuna. You will never consider as a man. So like that, he lived for 1 year, and that was the curse. And when he felt like that, and he was so sorry, Arjuna, but Krishna knew it. Krishna told, it's okay, no problem, 1 year only. It will be all right, but this will be helpful afterwards. And it happened. And it came over here, that's called that Virata Parva. Virat was the king. Then comes Uddoga Parva. Uddog means the beginning. Beginning of what? Beginning of this great war, the Kurukshetra. Krishna goes to Hastinapura as a messenger of peace. I will read it out to you afterwards, that how Krishna, he went as a messenger and delivered a wonderful lecture. Krishna's speech at the court of Duryodhana, when he went there as an envoy, is worthy of noting. Krishna spoke in a wonderful way, giving all the examples, and then he is speaking about the Dharma, the truth. We will come to that afterwards. And here, in the Uddoga Parva, sometimes some people, they comment after not knowing that if instead of Krishna, what's called that Buddha was there would not have been the war. The Buddha is considered as the god of peace. But Buddha himself was a Kshatriya, and when he was spreading the message of peace, that is totally different thing. And here the Krishna, not that Krishna didn't do. He went and he spoke about the peace only. He only wanted 5 villages for the 5 brothers, nothing else. Out of the huge kingdom, and the kingdom was so big, We only think it is the Delhi and the Kurukshetra. No, it was up to the Afghanistan and down to the Bangladesh, and all these places were under the Mahabharata. Hundreds of kings, they came and joined. It is all Mahabharata. That's when some people, they will be telling the undivided India. We need undivided India. It is not possible nowadays. But anyway, that was the huge kingdom. Out of that, only 5 villages he wanted. That also was refused. So the Udyoga Parva. Then comes the Bhishma Parva, the Gita teaching and the commencement of war in the Bhishma Parva. Of course, it was not the death, but the Bhishma gave up the war. That is all in the Bhishma Parva. In the Bhagavad Gita teaching, it comes over here. We will read afterwards, Bhagavad Gita. Then comes Drona, another person who was a great archer, and he was the teacher of these Kauravas and Pandavas. He took up the responsibility as the leader. And then the Drona, this is the death of Abhimanyu. Here, the main portion of the Drona Parva is the death of Abhimanyu. If you read, this is so touchy. The young man, he was so wonderful warrior, and unnecessarily these people could save his life. But they killed him, and killed him very unjust way. You are not supposed to fight 2 people with one. No, you are not supposed to. And when he is not having any weapon, you are not supposed to kill him. And so many. But in Mahabharata, some places, they actually broke all those laws. So Krishna told, now we can kill them because they have broken the law and the Dharma. So all this Abhimanyu. Then comes the Karna Parva, description of the war and the death of Karna. Here in the 8th Parva, Karna Parva, the main description of the war is coming. Previously, that description of the war is not that way given. The Karna Parva. Then comes Shalya. After the Karna came the Shalya Parva, the role played by the Shalya and the death of Duryodhana. At the Shalya Parva, that was the last, and they were defeated, and Duryodhana was killed by Bhima. And then it's called Shuptika. And Shuptika means Pandava's children. Shupti means it is almost the sleep. The Shupti Parva, the Pandava's children, they were sleeping. And that time Ashwattama came and slain them, killed them. So that is the description of that Parva. Then comes Stri Parva. Here we find slowly how the Mahabharata, the Dharma, the righteousness is breaking slowly. It is not only the Dhritarashtra, he began. But Yudhishthira also did the same thing by that mistake. And then all these people, one after another, they were breaking the laws. And that was a great damage for the society. And then comes the Stri Parva, lamentations of the women because of the husband's dead, etc. Then comes Shanti Parva. Most of the people, religious people, they read Mahabharata from Shanti Parva. Here, the teachings of religion has been given. Teachings of Dharma to Yudhishthira by Bhishma. So this is called Shanti Parva. The Parva means the chapter of peace. And here the Yudhishthira was asking, I will start that, how we should understand the Dharma. What is the responsibility of a king? What is the responsibility of a husband, as a brother? All the Bhishma is giving that description. And this is only Bhishma in the whole of Mahabharata who understood that Krishna is the God himself. We know that Bhishma was also a great soul. So he was one of the Ashtabashus. And that Ashtabashu, the last Bashu, was the Bhishma, who took birth as a son of Ganga and got training, and then afterwards came and joined his father, Shantanu. And this Bhishma, He knows that Krishna is the God. Krishnastu Bhagavan Sayam. He told again and again to Duryodhana, you cannot win because the Krishna is at their side. When the God is supporting someone, no one can defeat him. Try to understand. But the Duryodhana always understood in a wrong way. He thought, as because he loves Arjuna so much, so he is just telling like that. Then come Anushasana Parva. Anushasana, it comes the stories related to morals and righteousness. Shanti Parva, all the Dharma, descriptions and the definitions. Then come Anushasana. Anushasana means how one should live his life. That is called Anushasana. That is related with all this. Human life is not like animal life. That we should understand. The most of the people they're good people, educated people, well-established people, but they forget sometimes is the human life. And that is in the human life, we must have to understand this. The Anushasana, in the Mahabharata it says, then come Ashwamedha Parva. That was the great way, the Ashwamedha is showing the might. It's not they were going to capture the different lands, no, but they is to send the Ashwa, the horse, and that horse is to go followed by the soldiers, of course. And if anyone stood against that, immediately there was a war. What they is to do? You should be under me. You rule the state, no problem. But I should be considered as the king and you are subordinate to me. That was the way they used to do. So that is called the Ashwamedha Parva. Then Asrama Parva. Asrama, description of the Dhritarashtra returning into the woods and practicing austerity. Not only Dhritarashtra, the whole group, they all went. And they constructed small huts inside the jungle. And that's called Asrama Parva. The fag end of the life they should go. Whatever he did, Dhritarashtra, mistakes again and again. All the decisions that he took, they were all wrong. And not only, the king is taking a wrong decision means it is an effect on the whole society. One wrong decision, that is why the king, Raja, always they considered the Raja the top of all the human society. Why? Because he should be capable to understand, if I take this decision, what is going to happen afterwards? That is the main, what the Raja is doing, nothing. If we look at the all CEOs and the top bosses and the presidents, and in our country the Prime Minister, what do they do actually? All through the day, meeting. If you talk to them, oh, I am busy in meeting, like that. So many meetings they are doing, when they will do the work. Actually, that is the work. In the meeting, they are taking the decision. If the decision is wrong, then everything goes wrong. That is the main thing. Here, we find that he is going to the ashrama. He understood that I have committed sins, mistakes. So I must go and rectify myself. How? By practicing austerity. And what is that austerity? Constantly keeping the mind at the feet of the God. That's called austerity. Ma Sharadamani Devi, she told, what is the austerity? And in her own way, Baba Taposya Arki. Jenotina Pukarena Monta Ishwarer Padupadme Rakha. In any way, somehow, sometimes through songs, sometimes through other pictures, sometimes these, sometimes that. Anyway, you have to keep your mind at the feet of the God. Some people, they go to bathe in the river, they will be going on chanting, remembering God. When they are taking the deep, they will be again doing in such a way as if they are getting the blessings of God, taking the name of God. All the time, constantly, and that is called tapasya. Why tapasya? Why austerity? Why so difficult? Because the natural way of mind is to take us to all the objects of the worldly things. So that is called tapasya, asama parva. Then comes the mushala parva. We know the mushala parva that destroyed the whole Yadava. And the Yadavas, they became very, very proud race, because both the brothers were Yadava. This our Krishna and his brother, the Balarama. Balarama was very, very powerful. 10 elephants. The strength of 10 elephants was there in the Balaram. So he was very powerful. And Krishna, of course, was there. So obviously, they used to feel very proud. And they got all training. But finally, problem came. Ahamkara. And in the Ahamkara, they started taking all this, our rishis, just to criticize them, making fun of them. We know in the Mushala Parva, they did the same thing. Krishna never protested. Krishna did nothing. He could. He said, no. If I protect them now, that is the greatness of the Krishna. He was not at all attached. He was constantly observing that they are doing mistakes, but he told they have to follow the path. If they cannot, they should have to suffer. I cannot do that. He never helped them. And from the distance he was observing how they are killing themselves and the whole Yadava. And that is the Mushala Parva. This is the teaching from the Mahabharata. If you become egoistic, individual, you are going to be destroyed. As a society, you are going to be destroyed. So that is Mushala Parva. And Mahaprasthana Parva. We know that Mahaprasthana means they were going back. Where? To their main sources. And it was depicted as if they are going back to the Shvarga. So what is the Shvarga? What is that heaven actually? The heaven is nothing but the place of peace. How they can reach over there? Is there any particular place where they can go? And the picture is, the description is, they are climbing the Himalaya. Himalaya is a place, always place of mystery. We do not know what is there, what is there. So the Himalaya. But nowadays almost everyone is going and climbing on the Himalaya. From all different sides, from Nepal, from China, from India, almost every corner. And they never found the heaven over there. Then how come? Where is the heaven? It is actually, they were climbing, of course, but it is the mind. The heaven is within the mind. The peace. What is the peace? Understanding each other. When I know this person is behaving this particular moment, but he was good to me, she was good to me. So that is called Mahaprasthana. They were going slowly, slowly, and one after another, those who had the lot of ego, they were falling, they're failing over there. But the Yudhishthira went because he was not having any ahamkara. So the ultimately Yudhishthira went. And he was followed by a dog, a street dog. And people were wondering how come the dog is following and he is reaching over there. And we, the other Pandavas, one after another, they are getting fainted on the road. And Yudhishthira never turned back to see. He was so much concerned for the brothers and the wife. But this time, he never turned back. Why? That is called withdrawing the mind from the samsara. Everything is done. Now I should go to my own way. And no one can help in the spiritual life. It is all your own. That is called Mahaprasthana. It is the great exit, Mahaprasthana, going out from all the attachments. And that is called Moha. The word Moha is used when it is very, very significant and very, very difficult. All through the lives we live together, when all these things happen, then ultimately they say, okay, thank you. Now in your own way, you go. I am in my own way. That is called Mahaprasthana. And the retiring, exit, is taking the exit from this worldly life. And why the dog? Then afterwards it is explained, the dog was the Dharma itself, Dharma himself. He took the form of it. Why this dog? Because dog is a wonderful animal. They never leave the Prabhu. They will continuously go to the master, following the master, like the Dharma. If you practice Dharma, Dharma will never leave you. If you practice the righteousness, if you practice the religion will follow you like a dog. And all the time, in all the places and wherever you go, religion will be always with you. And that's why should you practice religion? Why should you follow religion? They come to the Ramachandra, the 25% for Ramachandra, 75% for the dosa. That is okay. That's all right. Dosa, idlis are all available, okay. So 25, 75, there's no problem. But you have to slowly change it. 75% for the Ramachandra, 25%, okay. Then again that is to be reduced and 100% for God. And that should be the way. So this is called Mahaprasthana. Then Swarga Arahana, that is called 18th chapter. Swarga Arahana. They were entering into that. Now we have already mentioned the Mahabharata calls itself is a Kabya. Kabya means a work of merit. It's wonderful. When you start reading, you can't stop. That is the problem. If you start reading Mahabharata, and Mahabharata has been translated into almost all the languages, but I don't know how they have translated, but if you read a real good translation, it's so wonderful. One after another incidents are going on, happening. This is really interesting, so very interesting. So it goes on and on and on, and that is called the Kabya. Then comes Dharma Shastra. This Dharma Shastra means it is teaching the religion, it is teaching the righteousness. The Mahabharata is the main book where we learn what one should practice as a religion. Second comes Artha Shastra also. It's not only just telling the stories, not telling about the religion, also about the practical life. Artha Shastra. Artha means all the wealth. Now here we find that some of our great souls, they are giving the responsibility of the kings. What is the responsibility of the kings? First and foremost to earn money. And second is how to spend that money for the betterment of the subjects. The quality of a king should be to earn money. How to get money, that is the main. So Artha Shastra. Then it's come Kama Shastra or Niti Shastra. Kama means desires are there, a different type of desires. Some they are thinking that I should have everything, some are thinking little is all right. All are kamas, all are desires. But different type of desires. Some are thinking I should be an archer like the Arjuna. So I should get the training from the Arjuna's teacher. There's also, the story is there. Ekalabhya. Ekalabhya, the boy, he went to the Arjuna's teacher, told, please teach me. I cannot. Because he understood that this boy is very efficient. If I am teaching, then he'll be almost parallel to Arjuna. So he wanted to keep the... So this, all the stories are there. That's called Kama. So many varieties of desires. And desires and desires and desires, that is nothing but the human life. So many varieties of desires are there, and that is the human life, and that is the, again, after that comes moksha. That is the ultimate of human life. So first we begin with the dharma. We understand what is my responsibility. And after understanding that, whatever comes in between, I continue into that. Then ultimately it comes the moksha. Moksha means mukti. Mukti means the freedom. This I think day after tomorrow, the 4th of July, the freedom for America, all people, that they call it long weekend. and they'll be all. So weekend is only Saturday, Sunday. Long weekend means one day extra. For the Indians, every day is long weekend, no problem for we don't go to office at all. So no problem for us. Today this, today that. Somebody lost something, immediately he come with his friends and relatives and block the road. So long weekend again. So like this in India it goes on. It will take some time for them to understand the responsibility for both sides. Now here this moksha, when we come to this dharma, what is the responsibility? That is good thing. As a responsibility as a father, as a mother, as a child, as a wife, as a husband, each and every one is having the responsibility. And if each and every one is doing the thing properly, then everything is smooth. When the doctor is going for the operation table, and after reaching over there he finds there is nothing, and what he will do? Then he has to run here and there to find out. Then he will ask the nurse, what is the matter? You were supposed to supply all those. I know what is that I have to supply, but the person who was to bring all those things, he is absent. Why is absent? Something happened in his family. So ultimately what happens? The patient dies. So why this? Because somebody was not responsible. So this responsibility, I have to do this small thing, I must have to do this small thing. You know that sometimes the engineers, they go inside the aeroplane, that huge thing that moves. In America, they always do it in this way. If you are going to the danger zone, you should not only stop that, you should carry the key with you. Nobody else will have the key. Unless you come back, it is not going to be put on, because it's terrible. If you put that on, the man working over there will immediately die. That is the responsibility. The person who has planned this is the responsible man, thinking. And here in India, you know, the same thing happened. The person that he was supposed to clean inside that, I don't know exactly the name of that, you know, the plane is having the round thing that sucks the air and throw it out. The propeller, the jet and the propeller. He went inside and someone put the switch on. And only the blood came out and nothing else. And when he was asked, oh, I was not knowing that he is working there. So this is the thing. So this constantly, yesterday, our two these devotees, they were coming, they were late. Then I told one to inform them to come through this gate. Then I informed him, write a note, paste it on the door, that devotees are coming, please keep this door open. Sometimes some of our brother and the other, they may lock it and you cannot open it. So naturally it will be a great difficulty for them after driving for 6 hours, 7 hours. If they don't find the door open, then so that is the responsibility. You must think what may happen. You are telling all people, but maybe one is not informed. And that particular day, he never does anything any day. But that particular day, he feels himself responsible and close the door. And then there will be problem. So one must think, and that is called dharma. Dharma doesn't mean that you have to come to the temple all the time and pasting your forehead with all that and then sitting over there singing kirtan. Not like that. That is a part. Alertness. Alertness is dharma. And then come artha. Without the artha, the support, you cannot. We will read afterwards. We find that Janmejaya, with that famous name Janmejaya, that his father was Parikshit, and Parikshit made a mistake. So the Takshaka came, and all this story. Then the Janmejaya, his son, he told, one snake has bitten my father and killed my father. I am going to kill all the snakes. I don't know which snake has killed my father. So I am going to. So all these things were going on, happening, that stories. Then ultimately, all the others, they suffered. But the Takshaka, who actually was the killed that the king Parikshit, he went to God. He understood that there is no other way to save. Where to go? This is the teaching. So he went to God and told, I was told by these people to do this. Why should I unnecessarily go and bite him and kill him? Because I was given the responsibility by God, so I did it. And what can I do? Because I cannot give anything except the venom, the poison that I am having. I cannot give you the milk because I am a snake. So this is your responsibility, Father, the great God, Vishnu. Now you save me. And he took the shelter and he was sitting over there where the Vishnu was sitting on the throne and he was sitting under it, holding. Now when one after another, the rishis, they called in the name of the Takshaka, you come and you should die over here in the fire. The mantra Shakti is so powerful, it was coming. As because it was holding the feet of the God, God was also coming. Then the rishis observed, what is it? Why the God is coming? They immediately stopped the God. Why you are coming? Well, what? I don't know. But this fellow is sitting over here. It won't leave me. And as being a God, I cannot say, go away. I cannot. So I have decided, let me also go and suffer along with him. The mantra Shakti, the power of the mantra, the mystical words, I have given to you. And again, at the same time, whoever is coming and taking shelter with me, I give the abhaya. I say, okay, I will protect you. Both the same. It is all me. Now you have called and I have to die. I am trying to. God cannot die, but he will suffer. So they called, okay. Then they stopped over there. It's called Tri Shanku. The name, the word, many of them Indians must be knowing. Tri Shanku condition. Tri Shanku means not in the heaven, not in the earth, in between. So that's called Tri Shanku. So that one should not. Now the Janmejaya, he is asking the Vedavyasa, how did differences arise among these righteous people? Because the Pandavas and Kauravas, they were all righteous people, they were great people. How these differences came? And at the same time, how did this terrible war take place? Because people may differ, but that doesn't mean that I have to go and kill. And they not only killed themselves, they killed the whole Bharata. After the Mahabharata, there was not a soldier at all. Each and everyone died. Right from Assam, people came to fight. Assam, Bengal, Orissa, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, all they went to fight. And similarly from the south of India, similarly from the western side of India, right from the Afghanistan, they all came, thousands and thousands. They all died over there. Why? He is asking this, and it says, Katham sambhaved badastesham akilashta karinam. Akilashta, they never did harm to others. They were so righteous. How come the differences came? Akilashta karinam, those who never harmed others, how they differed and this. Tacha yuddham katham vrittam. Why then the war? And not only ordinary war. Bhutanam karanam mahat. Bhuta antakaran. Anta means end. That means the end of the bhutas, mahat. Again the word mahat. Mahat means in a great scale. How come? From here begins the history. So the Mahabharata is the itihasha. Itihasha, that is not the chronological report. The history, as always they say, is the chronological report of the events that happened in the past. That's called history. Definition of history by Mr. Smith. He said, Indian history began when Alexander invaded India. Why? Before that, there was no record. Things happened, there is no chronological record. But then others said, what is it? If there is no chronological record, so what is there? In the Itihasa, in the Mahabharata, we find one after another incidents that is happening. Here begins the Itihasa. So Mahabharata is the history of the great country that's called Bharatvarsha. It is also known as the Purana, the ancient. It's the account of Didain society. The Purana is also known to all, became a terrible war of the Kurukshetra. All people, they know about the Mahabharata. The moment you speak about the Mahabharata, they only understand Kurukshetra. And all the movies and all that on the Kurukshetra. The cause of the devastating war, which involved the entire Bharata, India, was a family problem. But both the races, rivalry between the two great clans, Kauravas and the Pandavas. So I was thinking I will give you the all details, of course in brief, of the Mahabharata, but there is not much time. But let me, afterwards, I will read that. The Krishna is giving a speech in the court of the Kauravas. There he says, and when he went there and the envoy, and then he says specially, Rajadharma. If the members of an assembly are conversant with the morality, nothing improper should be permitted by them to happen. This is Rajadharma. And nowadays, after this, our ex-Prime Minister in India, he first again, after a long time, he talked about the Rajadharma. And people do not understand mostly about what is Rajadharma. Here Rajadharma, the Krishna told, standing in the court of the Duryodhana. So he said this, if the members of an assembly are conversant with morality, nothing improper should be permitted by them to happen. When in the presence of a virtuous members of an assembly, righteousness is sought to be overpowered by unrighteousness and truth by untruth, it is those members themselves that are vanquished and slain. That is, when righteousness pierced by unrighteousness seeketh the protection of an assembly, if the arrow is not extracted, it is the members themselves that are pierced by the arrow. Uddoga Parva 44, it is, I am just quoting the English, the translation, and it all says it is the Rajadharma. And it is not the only king, but the assembly also. But in the assembly, even the person like Bhishma didn't say anything. Only a humble man, Vidura, he said something, and Sanjaya, he also said something, but nobody paid any heed to him. So that is why when the assembly become corrupt and supporting the unrighteousness, then the whole society is destroyed. That's what happened over there. The Krishna, he gave them that, made them conscious about that, but didn't pay any heed. So the Kurukshetra war and everything was destroyed. Then we will come to that, how from the Shanti Parva, the Mahabharata is giving the definitions of the Dharma, then Artha, then Kama and Moksha. These four Purusharthas, one after another, we will study afterwards. Thank you. If you have any question on this, you can please. Yes, please.
From the Mahabharata, as we read and listen, it's a gold mine of dharma of individuals, from king to the subject, as to how they should conduct their life, etc. Now, there are some paradoxical things, sometimes difficult to reason out. For example, Dhritarashtra, who was such a wise person, and one example being that at the time of Daksha, who was asking the question, what is the greatest miracle, and then even though the other person is dying, that the others don't learn a lesson, etc. So such a person with such a wisdom, again engaging in the game of dice, and how his mind wasn't kind of focused on what is right,
Yes.
etc. So that's one.
Yudhishthira.
And then second, Bhishmacharya, who knows and who teaching Dharma, but in the assembly of Duryodhana, at the that episode of Draupadi Haran, how all these elders sitting there, etc., and not doing anything. So these are very puzzling, and how that happens.
See, in the Bhagavad Gita, in Mahabharata itself is a part, and when the Arjuna, he was not arguing that he should not fight, then one sentence the Krishna told, I have already done, completed it. So that is only the answer. Otherwise it is impossible to answer. Mayai vaite nihata purvameva. Mayai vaite nihata purvameva. Nimitta matra bhava sabhya sachin. See, this, you should become only a part of it. But all these things that you see, I have already done, completed. But that is the work of God. Why? It is impossible to say. So sometimes He is creating, and again He is destroying, and again He is giving the righteousness, and again unrighteousness. But the thing is, Mahayana gata sapantha. So when all these things, then the Yudhishthira, when he asked, Kapantha, what is the path? What should we do? How to learn? Shall we read the scriptures? Shall we only listen to the rishis or the great souls? Then he said, all the rishis are different. All the scripture speaks a different way. It's very confusing. But Mahayana gata sapanta, if you follow the Mahayana, the great soul, that is the only thing. He said that. But you know, he loved to play the dice so much, and he forgot everything. So if you are attached to anything in this life, that thing may bring destruction not only for you, for others too, others also, those who are associated with you. One thing can destroy everything. That is the example of Yudhishthira. He used to love that game, but the game actually destroyed him. The same. Bhishma, he loved only truthfulness, and whatever I have said, the promise I must keep, up to that. But because of his promise, so many other things are happening that he did. That's why Krishna told, only to keep his promise, he made all these things which is not right. So Dharma is not protecting him, you can kill him. Arjuna was telling, it is impossible, I cannot kill the Bhishma, he is protected by the Dharma. He said, no, he is not. He broke it, not understanding what is Dharma. So this is very, very important. Here we will see, Satya is the Dharma, truthfulness. But when, again the story will come, there was a great sage who was always very truthful. Then a person came running, sir, give me shelter. Some people are coming to kill me. I am an innocent man. They are unnecessarily. Then he quietly looked at him. He went to the left side and was hiding somewhere. Then the ferocious looking people came, the killers. They asked that saint, you never tell untruth. You are always telling the truth. Tell us the truth. Where the man has gone. Immediately his ego came up. I always tell the truth, I never tell untruth. And he showed the man has hidden over here. They went and killed him, and he actually committed sin. So by telling the truth, that particular moment, he is committing the sin, not the... So that is the main thing. So Dharmena Pantha, this is very, very difficult, very difficult. And the Mahabharata is really giving all these examples of this. A good question, nice question.
So can you modify your truth just to,
No. Anything, Dharma, what is Dharma? Not modifying. anything that is for the betterment of others, that is Dharma. Anything that is better for the others. When a doctor is coming and telling a pure lie to the patient is asking, holding the hand of doctor, "Doctor, am I going to survive?" "Of course, I will give you a medicine." He is telling the truth. He knows that it is not possible. But that very moment you cannot say, "No, by touching the Bhagavad Gita, I am telling you the truth, you are going to die." No, you cannot say like that. So that is the mothers. They are also constantly telling their children, hiding this and that. That's truth. And this is so many other things are there in the society. That particular time, if you are telling the untruth, that is truth. Exactly that thing our Krishna told to Yudhishthira. You cannot kill this, your master. He knows all these things. He taught you all. So naturally, it is impossible to stop him unless it is only weakness is his son. So if you tell that your son is dead, then only he will be stopped, otherwise not. So Ashattama Hata, and then he was feeling guilty, he said, "Iti Gaja." But it was not necessary. Only to stop him, that was because the God himself is asking him to tell the lies. Why? But thousands of people's life will be saved by that. That is the main thing. So we have to see Ma Sharadamani Devi. She never said a lie to anyone. But the doctors told, in those days in the doctors, there's only one glass full of milk that Sri Ramakrishna will take for the whole 24 hours. That is the only thing. The mother thought how a person can survive with one glass of milk. So she purchased little extra and he boiled it and made it very thick and gave in the one glass. Then Thakur, when she was drinking, she told, "But this is very heavy. Is it one glass?" "This is one glass only," she told. Then another lady came. Thakur was constantly inquiring. I said, "Do you think this is the one glass?" She told, No, I saw mother purchasing the liter. It is not, it is less than." So then Thakur again told, mother again told, she doesn't know the quantity I am purchasing. So this is almost the white lie, we can say. She was telling the lies. Why? To save the life of Thakur Sri Ramakrishna, her husband. Is not a lie. This is the truth. That is the way it goes. But though it is very difficult.
Swamiji, then the message is that it is the intention behind.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the technicality.
Yes, yes.
So that somebody having ahankar of just speaking the truth is probably inferior than the wisdom of the intention behind that action.
Exactly. Correct answer. Exactly. The wisdom that should work behind, and that is the intention, how we can do this. That is the intention. Then I can remember, say, that I was in a flight and was going to Andaman, and the 2 hours flight on the Bay of Bengal. So there is no place to land. And suddenly something happened. In the ocean, it always happened. The wind is changing and all, and the plane was throbbing. They were knowing what they are doing. The people started shouting, crying, what to do, and screaming, ladies, and that was terrible. Then the MP in our country, the member of parliament, he was known to me. He was also traveling the same flight. He told, "Swamiji, can you please say something?" If you say, then people will accept. At this moment, please tell that nothing is going to happen. Then I told, okay. I stood up, I prayed to God and told, in the name of God, I am telling you, nothing is going to happen. All of us will reach safe and land over there. Then people, "Oh, Swamiji ne keh diya." The Swamiji told. So they believed. And then I was praying to God, at least, keep my word, keep my word. So this is the why I was not knowing what is going to happen. But that moment, if the people are behaving like mad, then the others, the staff there, it is impossible for them to work. And they were trying their best. Nothing is going to happen. And modern days, so many other things are also there. Even if we are landing on the water, the immediately the ships will come. All these things are there. Nothing happened actually afterwards. So faith in God, that is one thing. And at the same time, concern for others. That is also. We will learn from Mahabharata in the next days. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat.